Good morning, friends. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, the tools are ready, and the talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling and saving you money, giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises to the what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Monday through Saturday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, a few good laughs. And I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins. We're shifting into drive right here, right now. So hang on to your hats. It's Fun Friday. We have made it to the weekend. Hallelujah for that. Man, I'm starting to quack like a duck, and I got webbed feet. I mean, come on. Mayflowers, April showers thing. I'm over it. How about you? The sunshine just feels so good on my bones. I gotta say. The sunshine feels fabulous. So we'll have the morning weather coming up in just a few moments, brought to us by our certified financial planning professionals, whom I forgot to talk about yesterday. Oops, my bad. Tony Miele, Larry Tetro, they're my personal financial planners. They've been great friends and my brothers from other mothers for well over 20 years. So when I speak to you about what they do, I'm speaking from my heart. No sales, no gimmicks, no sis, no boom, no bah. You book yourself that hour and a coffee discovery meeting. You leave your wallet, leave your purse at home. It's going to be nobody selling you anything. They're going to listen to what your circumstances are, what your questions are, and answer your questions. They really want to find out where you're at and where you want to get to. And remember, if you're crossing a minefield, who do you want to take the information from to get to the other side? A friend, a neighbor, a know-it-all, the guy that seems to know everything about all things, but nothing about everything? That guy. No, you want to get your answers from those who have the fruit on the tree. So book that meeting with them by Zoom, by phone, in the boardroom, at the IG Wealth Management office. It's beautiful, actually. It's very nice. Very, very nice. They'll meet you in your home, in a coffee shop, in a box, with a fox. Verified that. And you'll be all set. Let them answer your questions with your investment portfolio. And if you have investments with the bank, you really got to get them out of there. And I'm not being facetious. You got to get them out of there. You're making pittance on your money. It can be doing a whole lot more work for you. So just for that alone, get your questions answered. Debt retirement, they work on a debt retirement plan for you. Estate planning, if you got kids that are 18 years or older, are you their health proxy? Do you have a beneficiary? Do you have that all sorted out? Well, it's not something you do yourself. Let them take care of that for you. Arrange a mortgage. I don't do bank mortgages anymore. Haven't for decades. Their mortgage department in Winnipeg is fantastic. The ladies out there, get back to you if you have a question. Pronto Vista. Absolutely. Super fast. Life insurance, critical illness insurance. And when I talk about all this stuff, I have it all taken care of through both. I work with both of them, Tony Miele and Larry Tetro. They got 50 years experience. Let's thank them for bringing us our morning swiggy together while it's hot. So if you're just scooting through the drive-thru, it's Friday. Let's celebrate together and have a morning swiggy. But we should probably tell the newbies what we're doing here, right? Yeah, it's Fun Friday. So we can just, let our hair down if you've got some, as much as you can anyway. Let it down, unload. Well, not in that area, because once you do that, you can't put it back in. Yeah, once you unload. So let's say let's just have some fun. It's Fun Friday. We've made it to the weekend. You're scooting through the drive-thru. You got your favorite morning beverage and snack, whatever it may be. Your Skippy's in the side drive there. Give them the 16-pack of Crayola crayons. And, hey, we got a new stack of Car Connection Workshop laptops, leaf bags. They look stunning, and there's lots of room to write on. So the leaf bag laptop works perfect for taking notes. And if you can't, all our podcasts can be found on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Podbean, and all the other platforms. Just search us, Car Connection Workshop. You'll find us, or do what most are doing. Head over to our YouTube channel, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, and you'll find us very, very easily because we put all the links to everything we do in all the platforms. Skippy and I, we planted everything in one row on the homepage at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. Top right-hand corner, our YouTube channel. Click, you're there. Facebook, Instagram, you can check out reels and bloopers that Skippy puts up there. I don't look anymore because I'm not sure what she's working on, but they are funny. I do sneak a peek. And Stevensvilleontheweb.ca, we were kind of grouped in there as a professional, in our field. So just click the businesses tab. You can connect to us through there. We have our iHeartRadio icon, so click on that. That'll take you right to our podcasts. But all the podcasts now are fully exporting. So when I finish yapping this morning and it uploads on the RSS feed and goes out to all the platforms, it scoots over to our YouTube channel and plants itself there. That's cool. You know why? Because I did that. And I still can't believe it. I really don't. I can't believe it. I talk to cars. This computer stuff it's for the brainiacs. And I only have two little gray men left. So one remembers my name and the other one how to get home. So keeps me out of trouble. So let's raise your cup. I just bought you some time if it was still brewing. You got it? Okay, hang on to it. Keep an eye on the road if you're driving. Both eyes. Same time. Yeah. Ready? We count it down on 3, 2, 1. We say, thank you, Tony. Thank you, Larry, for bringing us our hot morning swiggy. 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. It's hot this morning, too. It really is. That's good. I got a different plan now. It's working. Yeah, because I'd get my morning beverage ready, then scoot around and get the house and the studio all lit up so the neighbors know Motormouth's alive and well. He's keeping an eye. I'm on duty, and get myself cleaned up and looking purty like best I can anyway. Trowel on some mud and into cracks and crevices and canyons, and then head up here to the studio. So then I would have my morning beverage prepared on the talk table here in the studio, and it's gone kind of lukewarm. So better plan. Do all that stuff first, then make it. Then bring it straight up. Yeah. Took me 32 years to figure that one out, but I'm all over it. All over it like Axel on a donut. Well, let's jump into morning weather, because I'm telling you, it's wetter than wet out there. We had some rain yesterday, but we had some sunshine, which was interesting, but we had some rain. And when it came in early evening, man, it poured gerbils and hamsters for quite a while. So here's what we got today. Let's thank our friends at City Auto Sales and Leasing, Earl and Louise Grant, husband and wife team. They're car guys. Let me tell you, they are. They know how to pick them there. They have the resources for low mileage, quality vehicles at fair prices. You will not get lipstick on a pig there, let me tell you. You will find a beauty, an absolute beauty. That's how they earned the title Greater Toronto area's premier pre-owned auto store. So you don't need to go anywhere else. We fixed that problem for you so you don't end up with somebody else's pile of junk in your driveway that's problematic. So sales and leasing. So they lease and also have in-house financing. How cool is that one? So you don't even need to go to the bankettes. You can check out their leasing and financing there. They do have quite an arrangement of inventory, but if they don't have what you're looking for, they have 25 years of resources to find it. If it's out there and it's in really, 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 really good shape and worthy to bring back to City Auto Sales and Leasing, they'll do it. But if there aren't any good ones out there, they're going to tell you that as well. So let them know what you're looking for specifically, and they'll do the legwork for you. How cool is that? That is worth driving 2 hours if it takes to get there one way to know you're buying with confidence and being treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity. And that is why City Auto Sales and Leasing has been a part of Car Connection for quite a few years now. We are blessed to have them with us. So check them out on the homepage of our website. You'll find everything that you need there to like and follow, subscribe, share, join our online community, check out our buildings, our build and repair work, all available to you on our homepage. Just click on the logo for any one of our program partners and you'll get to meet them. And we thank you for giving them your business, not the biz. Give them your business. And thank you very much. Well, here's what we got. Read it and weep, friends. 52 degrees right now and cloudy. Yes, I checked that. Wind is making it feel cooler, about 51 degrees, partly cloudy conditions from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Mostly sunny. Okay. With mostly sunny conditions, we can accept that. That's expected at 4 o'clock. Yeah, that's a lunchbox letdown. Got to go all day before you see the sunshine. Hello. Today's temperature range from 50 to 64. We're getting there. We're getting closer to the 30-day fuel savings challenge. That will minimum, if you follow my coaching and follow the fuel saving tips, at the very least, you're going to put $100 in your jeans. That's $1,200 for the year, sweetheart. If you have 2 vehicles, that's $2,400. And if you're even better at part 2 of the 30-day fuel savings challenge, you could double that. How do I know? I've been performing the 30-day fuel savings challenge for 44 years. 44 years. I'm not as old as dirt, so shut up. Yeah, I'm being polite. Steady on. So we're getting to the steady 60 degrees. Then we can run the 30-day fuel savings challenge. Put some money back in your bank. Precipitation today, you ready for it? We need a Tiffany on this one. 0. Yes, I said it. 0. And just remember, 0 in any language is still 0. Yesterday, we had 0.55 of an inch. Well, I'll tell you what, I think we got that in the first microblast, to be honest. Couldn't even park. Skippy stopped by. We shot a quick video yesterday. We needed to track down this noise in Vanna White so we can get on top of that and know where we're going next, fixing that van up. There's a clunking and a thunking and a something going on in the right rear. So Skippy was driving and I was flopping around in the back of the van holding a microphone and trying to shoot a video all at the same time. So we're going to post that just the way it is, because then you can see how Skippy was driving and the challenge that I was faced with at the back of the van, and hoping that the van door didn't pop open and I scoot out onto my butt onto the road surface, and that would be embarrassing picking gravel out of that landing position, correct? Absolutely. So what are we talking about today? Well, I do have a topic only because I started a series a little late in the week on air conditioning. And it is important that I wrap it up in order so that when you're re-listening to the podcast, you can listen to part 1, part 2, and wrap it up with part 3. Exactly. So today is the wrap up on Wanna Be Cool, the do's and do nots when using vehicle air conditioning. How to save money and use it right. And in fact, I was just thinking about it yesterday. I know I was just about blacked out. I had to hang on to the antenna on one of the cars in the shop. It's like, woo, woo. Yeah, it was like that. Yeah. And the idea was when the little bit warmer weather, we get up to 65 towards 70, and we can pull over and park there. I'll actually shoot a video showing you step by step how to take care of your vehicle's air conditioning system, how to know how to use it correctly, because I will say 10 out of 10 of you are not. I'm going to go out on a limb, a thick one, and hang on and teach you how to use your vehicle's air conditioning system correctly to get you cooled down a whole lot faster and save all those components that are worth a freaking fortune right now. So in yesterday's podcast, I talked about, and if you read the description boxes, I put a ton more tips, tech tips in there on purpose so you have more to read and more to learn. Because when you learn the basic fundamentals, folks, it doesn't matter how old it is. It doesn't. You know, right now I'm watching some fellers on YouTube, and they're tracking the GM engine failures on their pickup trucks and other cars, mostly the pickup trucks. It's horrible for the consumer. Seriously. Could you afford to have a vehicle, 2-3 engines deep, and they're still putting the same pile of scrap in there that blew up the first 3 times? Come on. So that's why I look at Mr. Green Jeans. In fact, I put a comment in one of the YouTube channels yesterday. I said, here's a question for you. Riddle me this. 1967 Chevy C10 pickup, 327 V8, 3 on the column, and it runs like a champ. Hop in, fire it up, and go. Is that better technology? Is that better quality? The body's not falling apart whatsoever. It came up from a farm from Georgia. I bought it off the fella that had it chipped up here into Canada, so it's Canadian now. And I look at that every day because Mr. Green Jean's up on the lift. He's got the hoist tied up, and then restoration's down below, puking transmission oil all over the floor. I got to get that clean. That's been a car where it's been a huge headache, and I've come a long way with it, but I wish I had done the restoration from ground up myself, because the fellers that worked on it were mechanics. Not impressed by the workmanship. There's something going on with that automatic transmission. It's not leaking, and then all of a sudden it loses all its cookies all over the shop floor. And at $15 a bottle for transmission fluid now, $15 for what we used to pay like $5 1/4. It's $15 now. Yeah, so I might scrape it up off the floor and put it through some cheesecloth and see if I can put it back in the bottle. What do you think? Probably not a good idea. Maybe not. So that's what my thought was. So I put in the comments for the feller. I just said, 1967, the body is solid as the Rock of Gibraltar. The thing's built like a freaking tank. I'll tell you, just the bumpers alone, if you whacked somebody You might chip some paint off, but that's about it. I've whacked my head on the step, the what they call the step tailgate. It has the I call it the farmer bumper on the back, and it's heavy duty, big time. It's a commercial style bumper, and I look at that and I'm thinking, the new stuff today, the engines can't hang together. They're putting them in like chiclets. And that's Mr. Green Jean's original motor. 1967. Come on, folks. Grab an oldie and get going. That's it. I mean, just shot a video last night without Skippy. I was trying out the new 360-degree AI camera guy. It was pretty decent, I gotta say. Pretty decent. So anyways, I shot a video with the 2008 Nissan Rogue. I did a transmission service on that. First one, I think. Well, the oil came out looking pretty good, and it smelt good, but it was ready to come out of there, because if you compared it, the oil that came out to what went in, they didn't look the same. So the oil that came out was opaque. I could see through it. It was kind of a little yellowy color. Smells funny. Yeah, like some sort of odd cheese sauce. Crazy. The new stuff going in had like a bluish hue to it, and it smelled equally as odd as the stuff that came out, maybe even a little bit different. So we've done the first service, and I'll do the next service in 6 months and catch it up and flush that transmission out. So again, if you have a CVT, Charlie Victor Thomas transmission in your Nissan, you had better unlock the best pack of love that you can muster up, because that transmission will bite you know where, with really big teeth in your wallet. What were you thinking? Well, it might bite you there if it's in the back pocket. And a brand new transmission. If you detonate the one that's in there, you're going to need a brand new one. About 16 grand, that's all. You got that kicking around, right? So every 50,000 K, not 60, not 65, not 80. Oh, we can stretch it because, they put a buffer in there. Do you know how many times I hear that? Do not stretch your services. That's when stuff breaks, and it goes from a $200 repair to $5,000 plus. So I just shot the video on that, just finishing off a couple of items further to bring that 08 up to snuff. So you got to watch that video. I put a lot of nuggets in there, and some questions too, that would rely on your response for me to figure out where you at. Where you at, Jaime? So yeah, today is the pre, not the post, the pre to Q&A Saturday. So if you haven't got your questions in, as long as you have them in by EOD, I can put those in the pile and possibly pull your question. So we're working up to a way where if I read your question live on the program Saturday morning, that we send you something nice, like a 1975 burgundy-colored AMC Pacer. Yeah, exactly. Your neighbors you'll be the talk of the town. I guarantee you on that one. Would you call that car Podbean? That was a question I put out even on YouTube's yesterday, was if you had a name in your head, Podbean, what would the car be? Yeah. And I grabbed that from, I was just looking to see what the name of some of all these other podcast platforms are, and I came across this Podbean, and I'm going, Podbean? What the heck is that? What's a Podbean? Well, I know what a bean tree, an Indian bean tree is. Those are catalpas. We have lots of them on the property here, and they lay out these long beans. And when they're green, you can actually take somebody's eye out or poke it in, depending. If you can get it up their nose, then you can poke their eye out. Otherwise, you're poking it in. So anyways, I was thinking when I saw that term, pod bean, I was right away thought of those beans that you constantly have to clean up with, no matter what day it is of the year, from those catalpa trees. So what kind of car would it be? Would it be a 75 AMC Pacer? Would it? It's got to be burgundy, like a deep burgundy, because it's really, it's uglier. Yeah, I think. Anyhow. Well, let's move on this morning and let's jump into the topic before we end up into tomorrow. So your questions, motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. I had to think for a minute there. Bit of a brain fart. Yeah, motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. That one's easy to remember. The other one is Nile at Nile. Not Kevin, not Bill, not Bob, not Harry or George. I think that was the latest one. Someone called me George, and I'm going, that's close. It's Nile, no S, like Niles Crane. No S. It was supposed to have an S, but you'd have to talk to my pops about that. Yeah. Nile@ccbusnet.com. All that information's on our homepage at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. Just click on the contact tab. You'll find us in there. There is a website form. Also in the description on our podcasts and on our YouTube videos, which we put 3 up every week. A new one goes up today, so that's the third one for the week, and we have 3 for next week, and we're still shooting. We shoot every week, and sometimes we're trying to get some stuff off of our list, and I'm moving through 4 vehicles at a time right now through our own personal fleet, and the 2008 is the most recent addition to our everyday drivers. So, and that's proven to be pretty decent. You know what? I really like the drive. I like the handling. I like the fuel economy. It's out the door, man. It's amazing when you don't drive the stink out of it. Yeah, you don't got it wound up like a tight elastic band. Or like that pair of underwear that crawls up, but you still put them on anyway. That's sadistic. I just got to tell you. There's a time when you just got to say, you know what? They're a little too tight. Move up a notch. I'm just saying. I don't know why I said that. But anyways, you just got to come and face the facts sometimes. Things are getting bigger, and you just can't fit in there. So, yeah, it's the newest version, but the seats, I find, just work so good. So good. Yeah, there's a song about that somewhere. So I'm really enjoying it. Really. And it was, I'm really happy that I put in the effort, and you can watch all the videos. It took a lot of labor of love to bring that thing back from potentially heading to the parts depot. Yeah, the U Pullet Center. So we saved it, rescued another one. So I'm just catching up on maintenance that kind of slid past previous owner and piled up. But the car sat for pretty close to 11 months. And I even mentioned in the video yesterday that I shot late in the day. Had it sat about another 3 or 4 months, it wouldn't have been good, because it was everything in the back end that was really messed up. But all the suspension and steering components, they were done. They were over and done. Brakes were over and done, including emergency brake. There was nothing left to work with. And all those videos you can watch on our YouTube channel. They're all there for you. So the do's and don'ts when it comes to air conditioning. Save money and use it right. First and foremost, I'm going to check in with this one. And it's a question. And send me an email or leave me a message on one of our YouTube videos. It's really important that this is on my mind and on my heart. I follow a number of fellas on YouTube that are really, really sharp. They're technicians, or they're researching certain things in the automotive field, and you can trust their information because they give you links so that you can check out the paperwork and the statistics yourself and verify. And leave a comment. Take a moment in time and help someone's YouTube channel grow by doing those little things. Leave a comment. Ring the notification bell so you're properly subscribed and you're getting notified when the new videos come out. And follow, share, like, do the whole package. If you really want to help the online influencers that have really good YouTube channels, that's how you do it. That's what we need you to do for us because we cannot do it ourselves. Make sure you're subscribed and go in periodically and check, because I've found and discovered, not blowing anyone in algorithms, that you become unsubscribed somehow. Because for a while there I'm going, why haven't I seen any new videos coming out from so and so and so and so? I go in and I check, I'm unsubscribed. How does that happen? I don't know. It's an IDK. So if you want to help your online influencers, do those little things for them. It means a great deal, because this is not easy. I find working on cars a whole lot easier. There's a ton of commitment to do this podcast and put it all together 6 days a week, and shooting new videos, all the editing that goes on and all the little features you got to do to get the algorithms to spit you out to bigger markets so we can reach a lot more people and connect with a lot more people. It's a commitment, not a hobby. Yeah, it's a commitment. If you really want to influence and you really want to help people, you got to, as an influencer, you got to put a ton of effort in. There's a lot of wheels spinning. That's what I'm saying. A lot of wheels. And thank goodness for Skippy, who shoots the videos, and she helps with the editing. And I got to help her. And that makes a big difference. So let's jump into the do's and don'ts. First and foremost, how many of you out there, where I was going was, I want to see your comments. Send the comment in. I want to know where you at, Jaime. Where you at when it comes to your automobile? Because this program and 44 years in service as a licensed tech, I think it's actually more. I stopped counting. 4 decades plus. It's good to know where you're at, where your heads are at. Because what I do, I've been in this lane for almost heading for 50 years, carving it out for you guys to learn stuff and share it with you. I'm not here for the armchair warriors. I could care less whatsoever. I really do. You know what? You get numb from the neck up, and in 40 some odd years, the stories you hear and the know-it-alls. Hey, if you want to know it all, I will let you know it all. Because at some point, pride comes before the fall, and it usually does. I had one technician who started whining one day. Anyways, that's a story for another time. He's no longer with us. At that point, I'll share that story another time. How many of you out there you're driving your vehicle, your air conditioning's on, you got your tunes flowing, you're nice and cool in there and feeling good and comfortable, and you get to your destination, you just turn the car off? How many of you do that? 10 out of 10. I guarantee you that. If I were a betting man, I would bet on 10 out of 10 of you just pull in and shut the key off. Well, this podcast is just for you, because doing that destroys your vehicle's air conditioning. Doing that method creates that awesome stench that continues to build up inside your car. And it puts and leaves a lot of what we call head pressure on the AC compressor that destroys it inside, and it eventually detonates itself. And when that happens, all that shrapnel from inside the air conditioning compressor goes through all the veins and arteries I talked about, all the components that make up an AC system the last 2 days, the last 2 episodes. So if you're listening to episode 3 right now, you really need to go back and listen to episode 1, part 1, part 2, part 3, all titled the same, Wanna Be Cool with a C, and part 1, part 2, part 3. So look for that, because we don't have time to backtrack. So 10 out of 10 of you, that's how you do it. 10 out of 10 of you are going to have a vehicle that smells like a really bad hockey bag, gym locker, work boots. You know what I'm talking about. That smell. Like, ooh, that smell. I think that's a song somewhere. Yeah, tell me who does that. That's in my head now. It's like an earworm. Yeah. First, we have to break you of that habit before I can tell you the rest. Because you'll never do the rest if you don't break that habit. So let's cover it. Here's the thing. And this is exactly how I do it and have for over 4 decades. In knowing and understanding and having a license, an ODS license as well, ozone depleting substance number. Yeah, we had to pay super large for that freaking class, let me tell you, to be told that there's normal leakage. Okay. Anyhow, we learned a lot about how to use a vehicle's refrigeration system, because that's what it is. It's a refrigeration system in your vehicle, except it doesn't have a fridge door and a light and a very large door. Yeah, that narrows it down. Here's the thing. Prior to your destination, so you should be knowing where you're going to be landing your vehicle. 10 to 15 minutes before you are going to land there, here's the process. You ready? The process is we turn off the air conditioning button. So shut down the compressor. Turn the fan speed down to low. How low can you go? Well, that's the low. 2 things are going to happen here. You've now allowed the compressor to decompress and get the head pressure off of the internals of the AC compressor. So let it do this. That's what it's doing. And it's going, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Please come again. Thank you. Thank you. Bye now. And that's good. It's just relaxed. That's what that means. Get the head pressure off the system. Shut the compressor off. No, you're not going to die of heat exhaustion in just a few minutes. Switch off the air conditioner. Fan goes to low. Do you know why low? Because let's play limbo. How low can you go? Okay, we'll leave that. That was a long time ago. All right, so you put it on, the fan on low. Why? That's the coldest air conditioning you will ever get out of your AC system is on low fan speed. And we're going to come back to that again. So right now, you've shut off your 10 or so minutes from your location. And you got to do this every time. Not, oh, I'm just nipping into the store. Oh, I'm just going into the big W store. Oh, I'm going into the big C store. Every time you're in that car with the air conditioning on, this is the process, friends. AC button, whatever it is in your car to turn it on and off, turn it off. Fan speed on low. Here's what's happening. Head pressure on compressor. It's now relaxing in its chaise long. Next, we got to get the evaporator core defrosted. That's the little dude that's tucked inside the car first when they're building it, and then they pack the entire car around it. I kid you not. That's what they do. It is not an accessible component in 5 or 10 minutes. If you ever saw what it takes to get down to the evaporator core inside the car. When we got to change one, you'd say, oh my gosh, you idiot, you freaking wrecked my car. That's how much has to come out to get to it. So that's why I said yesterday that if your car's smelling like really something fusty, musty, crusty, and nasty when the air conditioning's on, just keep in mind that evaporator core was the first thing in, and they built the car around it. It's basically not accessible. Basically not. What happens is that evaporator core frosts over. Now, many of you ladies will understand this. Fellas, they'll be going, huh? What? Frosts over? You know, frost-free fridges? Not really true. To an extent, right? And upright freezers that have the racks, yeah, they don't really defrost 100%. I know, I have one, commercial grade, and you got to unplug them and let them defrost. Well, you got to do the same thing in the car. You got to stop the air conditioning from working, keep the fan blowing so that the evaporator core, it's covered in a very heavy white frost, because that's where the cold comes from into the cab. So pushing air through the evaporator core as slow as possible allows those air molecules to grab a lot of cold air and get it to you. High fan speed does not produce colder air inside the vehicle. Just makes you feel better that the fan, you can feel the airflow on your face and your hair is ruffling. Yeah, like you're in some tropical area. Okay, come back now. So that's the thing. High fan speed, the air temperature is colder. And I will prove that to you when we shoot a video on this. I will absolutely prove it to you with my thermal heat gun and my meadometer in the dashboard. So low fan speed is going to allow the air compressors off that evaporator core to melt. It's going to defrost. So there's water there. So when you look under your car after you get out of it and the air conditioning's been running, or while the car's running, you'll see drip, 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 drip. It's having a little whiz in the parking lot. It's not incontinental. It's doing what it does. And periodically we have to get a coat hanger or a piece of wire and find that drip tube, the discharge tube, because Spideys like to get in there and web it up, and it's nice and moist and it's dark and airy. And it's party time for the Spideys, but the water has to get out. And if it can't get out, then it gets moldy. So that's one area of stink that it starts to build up. So if you're not seeing your air conditioning system drip on the ground underneath, having a whiz in the parking lot, then we need to visit that orifice tube and make sure that the tube is clear, because that water has to get out. Number 2. So now the evaporator core is defrosting. The air flowing through it dries it out. We need to dry out the evaporator core when? Every single time you use the air conditioning. Not once in a while. Every single time you use your vehicle's air conditioning. Because when you don't, that stink will continue to build forever. And guess what? You will have to live with it. I have kits here I've had sent to me. Try this motor mouth, try this. Oh, this will kill the bacteria. Because what happens is this. You don't listen to me, which 10 out of 10 of you won't. And I know that, and it's okay, because your car smells like a gym locker, and it's just going to continue to get worse. Because what happens is, if the evaporator core doesn't get a chance to defrost and dry off, all the human hair, pet hair, dander, Pomeranians, all that stuff, lint, and etc. get onto the evaporator core, and they do, because there's airflow. The fan is pulling air through the evaporator core, and it's pulling every particle floating around inside the car and stuffing it on to the fins of the evaporator core. The evaporator core looks like a miniature radiator. That's what it looks like. So all that stuff gets matted on the moisture, and then spores develop. Not s'mores, although that'd be good right now with a hot cup of coffee. But anyways, spores, bacterias. That's what's growing on your evaporator core, and that's where the smell comes from. Here's the thing. I explained to you the evaporator core is the first thing in the car, then they build the car around it. We can't access it. I've got nozzles that spray like starfish and antibacterial stuff, but you've got to be able to nail the whole front of that evaporator core. But mostly, we need to get in there and rake that stuff off of the evaporator core, because as long as it's on there and it keeps getting moist, because 10 out of 10 of you do not shut your AC off correctly, you are going to continue to grow the bacteria and the spores, and the stink gets worse. That's what happens. The stink gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And can I fix it? I can try, but I'll tell you right now, it is a waste of money. It'll smell good till it doesn't, till the disinfectant antibacterial spray dissipates. But unless we can completely nail the front of that evaporator core with the antibacterial product that has smelly in it, so that way, you become nose blind from that. That doesn't mean it's clean. We leave one area the size of your pinky's nail untouched by the antibacterial, it all grows back. So you see what I'm saying? They put the evaporator core into the system first and build the car around it. There's no access door. There's no take a panel off. There it is. It's built into the car. And to get to it, as I mentioned already, I remember this one car. I said to the family, here's what I told them. I needed to get in and change the heater core, and I said, while we're in there, we should put a new evaporator core in because they're in the same location. And if you enjoy your vehicle's air conditioning, that's usually the first thing that starts to leak slowly, and then no one wants to fix it. No, because it's hours of labor. So I told this couple, do not come down to the shop and see what I have to do to your car. You'll have nightmares. I told them, I said, I'm going to work on this at night because I cannot do this type of job during the day. I got to stay focused and make sure I'm going to be able to put everything back exactly, including the fasteners where they come from. And I said, I have a system for that, but I need to not be disturbed. So guess what they did? Exactly like what I'm telling you with the air conditioning. You probably won't do it. Most of you won't. But if you do, you're ahead of everybody else, because you're going to spend a ton of money fixing your vehicle's air conditioning system, because it's not designed to be treated like that. It's just not. It's a refrigeration system, and it's going to go down on you, and it's going to be expensive. A cheap repair for air conditioning was $500 many years ago in Bethlehem. And now it's about $2,000 to get you back up and running in most cases. It can cost way beyond that, and then most say, I'm going to get rid of the car. I have to have air conditioning. So they came down to the shop. They knew I was working on it at night, and I forgot to lock the man door. I usually put a big piece of cardboard on there. I had custom fit so that there was no light shining, so no one knew whether I was working in the shop on something custom for myself or not, or somebody from the older fellas would bring me their beautiful cars from local car clubs, and I would do the work for them tight and right. So I didn't want to be disturbed on that stuff, and I didn't want people knowing I had that stuff in the shop, because we kept it behind the curtain so they couldn't see that area of the shop. So anyways, they waltz in, and the lady lets out a blood-curdling scream. I almost peed my pants. I come flying out the car. You wrecked my car. We're going to sue you. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm going, get out. Now, go. I told you not to come in here because this is overwhelming for anyone to see. But now you're here. This is what it takes. Seats out, console out, carpet out, and the whole dashboard, steering column, everything out. And now I'm down to the heater core and the evaporator core. That's what it takes. So when they got their car all back, they were like super paranoia, going like, did you put everything back together? I go, everything's back in exactly how it came out. Everything. In fact, here's the change I found underneath the seats in a Ziploc bag. Oh, really? I go, yeah, there you go. Go have coffee on me. You never would have known. So then they called me back in like a week. They go, wow, everything's working perfect, blah, blah, blah. Man, you're amazing. And I go, no, I'm just stupid. Because a lot of techs would not touch that. They would not touch that. Changing an evaporator core or a heater core, they go, I don't have time for it and I can't make any money on the job. I am not touching it. So that's where your smell comes from. So if we can't conquer the first step of the do's and do nots, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters. If you won't do that much to operate your vehicle's air conditioning system correctly, there's no sense in talking about anything else, because that's where it starts. You got to get into that habit. And if you're riding with me, you'll see me do it automatically. I do it automatically. AC off, low fan speed, cruising to my destination. And then usually, pretty much 9 out of 10, unless I am rushed for something, I'll sit in the parking lot and I'll turn that fan speed up to high to make sure for certain I get that evaporator core dried off. Because I do not like that smell, and I never like trying to fix it for someone else. And I do not want to tear my whole vehicle apart to get all the dust and dander and everything off the face of the evaporator core. Because like I said, leave a little tiny bit of material that has spores on it, and I didn't get the spray on there, it all grows back in a very short period of time, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. That smell will never go away. Never go away. The only way is to get down to the evaporator core, clean it off with a rake, and make sure we get all the hair, everything off of it. And if it's really matted up, and I have a picture of one somewhere, I have to go and look. It was in a Golf, a Volkswagen Golf, an older one. And I can't remember. I think I was stripping the car for parts for a neighbor to fix their car. I found the thing in a horse paddock, and it had everything on it to fix their car. So I bought it for a couple $100, and I decided to strip parts out of it because there was a lot of good parts. And I was running Volkswagens at the time and knew a bunch of people with Volkswagens. So I harvested it, and I got down to the evaporator core, and it was totally covered with pet hair, dander. It had a skin completely on the evaporator core, covering it. And I took some pictures of that. I'll have to see if I can find those pictures and see how we can post those on the YouTube channel. Yeah, because you got to see that, because that shows you exactly what's going on. So I'll do my homework to show you. So there's no sense in me going any further with the do's and do nots if you don't master this part first, because nothing else is going to matter. Nothing. If you don't learn to do that exactly how I told you, 10 to 12 minutes, I usually go quarter of an hour. I'll look at the clock in the dash and I'll go, I'm going to be there in 15. Boom. Air conditioning off. Fan speed on low. Now I'm letting the evaporator core defrost. The AC compressor is going, there's no pressure on it. The pressure equalize and there's no what we call head pressure, because that's what blows the AC compressor apart inside. That's why they let go, because you're all doing that. You wonder why your AC... I have never blown out an AC compressor on anything I've owned. There you go. Did I just get lucky? Did I? You know what luck means? Laboring under correct knowledge. That's what that means, luck. Yeah, so when someone says, well, that's just luck, you're exactly right. Laboring under correct knowledge. So the correct knowledge here is, if you understand your refrigeration system in your car and you listen to what I'm telling you, you're going to save money and you'll probably never blow up the AC compressor. Because what causes it to blow up? Just shutting it off and leaving the head pressure on there. It starts to decay the compressor because it's taking all the high pressures when you just shut it down. So it's going to blow. It's not a matter of if, it's when. And then the compressor lets go and detonates itself inside. Gone. And I haven't even looked at the prices for AC compressors yet this year. I haven't looked. But I imagine the $300 or $400 AC compressor is probably not out there anymore. I'll bet we're going to be close to $1,000 for an AC compressor. And if you don't change your habit, guess what happens again? You start the process all over again. That's the sad part. So if you follow my steps and do step number 1, you're already halfway there to saving your vehicle's air conditioning system. And again, I'll say, I have not ever had to replace an AC compressor on any vehicle that I have, and I always make sure I have one or two with air conditioning. Because when it's hot, hazy, and humid, I'm just like everyone else. I want to be comfortable while I'm driving. If there's a nice breeze outside, then I want the windows down. I like to feel the airflow. The hair, we can fix it. I want to feel the air through my hair, and I have lots of it, just so if you're wondering. And that's good. I was blessed with my pop's thick hair. He still has a really good head of hair going at 89 years of age. So let's master that part, and then I'll share the rest of it with you, because the rest doesn't matter. If we can't master this, AC off, low fan speed, I'm going to say, if I say 8 minutes, you'll go 6. If I say 15, you'll go 10. 15, quarter of an hour. You look at your watch, you look at the dash, say I'm going to be at work in 15 minutes. AC off, low fan speed. You're not going to die and get asphyxiated by heat exhaustion. There's going to be nice, cool, cold air coming out, because the coldest air coming out of your dash with your air conditioning is on low fan speed, not high, low. And we'll show you that in a video as we get closer to the warmer temperatures. So we're going to pull over and park and leave that there. And just maybe I'll share the last few pieces of the do's and do nots. But I need you to really think on what I just shared with you. That is the foundation of using your vehicle's air conditioning. And getting the cabin of the vehicle cooled down, I have some secrets that will absolutely blow your mind in how you get a piping hot interior on a vehicle cooled down in a matter of minutes. Not the way you're doing it. I can guarantee you that. Not the way you're doing it. So send me an email, a comment that you want to know the rest of the do's and do nots when it comes to operating your vehicle's refrigeration system, air conditioning, and we'll see you tomorrow morning for Saturday Motor Mouth's Morning Drive Q&A, questions and answers. So send me an email, Niall at ccbusnet.com, Nile, or motormouth.jenkins@gmail.com. Make it a great Friday. Stay out of the puddles. Remember, don't go force ramming through the puddles. That causes damage under the hood to electronic components. Do not do that. It's not fun. It's going to cost you money. So stay out of the puddles. Keep it under 100. Happy, healthy motoring. Peace, patience, and kindness. And thank you to Niagara Block at 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, for making today's podcast available to you. Building Canada since 1931. Building supplies and products, the metal, the rebar, the bricks, everything you can think of. They don't sell lumber. Hardscape, landscape materials, I'll tell you, they can put together a very nice backyard outdoor living space for you. So they also have contractors. Kathy Grimo and Dave Grimo and Dan Grimo are the owners there, and their family. Kathy has a list of contractors that she can refer you to estimate, start the job, finish the job, and you'll be absolutely stunned by the results. So we'll see you tomorrow for Q&A, right? So if you want me to tell you the rest of the do's and do nots with the AC operation to save you tons of money and love your vehicle's air conditioning system and not be spending thousands of dollars on it, send me an email. Ask for it. Ask me to do the rest, and I will. Send a comment through an email or put a comment on one of our YouTube videos. But thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and have a safe drive to and from work, and have yourself a fantabulous weekend. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.